Israel Adesanya cannot win at UFC 287, and before you click off this video, let me explain why. Coming into the anticipated rematch between Pereira and Israel Adesanya for the middleweight championship of the world at UFC 287, it is completely fair to say that this is the toughest spot that we've ever seen Israel Adesanya in during his entire tenure with the organisation. While his star appeal is up as a result of this rivalry, I'd say his casual appeal has been dropping for some time now. You cannot deny that Israel is incredibly talented, skillful, and dedicated to martial arts. What you can critique, however, is his overall persona, his delivery of awkward or cringy, corny lines, and the way that he handled his last loss. People were quick to say how well he accepted the loss, but the more we saw his post-fight press run, the more I was aware of him blaming his loss on the perennial nerve blow and not allowing Alex any credit for this performance, which, when you look at it from an unbiased angle, was awfully impressive. Now, this is not Izzy's first loss in the promotion, so it is not the fact that he is coming off a loss to his biggest rival. Losing is, for 99.99% of MMA fighters, an inevitability. Generally, the outcome of a fight is not equivalent to the process of getting through a fight. And what I mean by that is if a fighter makes an incredible account for themselves, but go on to lose, this often shadows the results. Vice versa, if a fighter wins poorly, then this can often take the shine off the actual result. A good example of this is Merab Dvalishvili's last few fights. Peter Yan is a huge scalp to add to your resume in the MMA world. But when it is built off the back of 50 plus attempted takedowns with only under 10 successful, this takes precedent. Instead of people talking about how incredible this guy is as a fighter, the chatter is basically how good is this guy's cardio, but also how boring is this guy's fighting style. Go back one more fight, Merab taking on Jose Aldo. This is an even bigger scalp than Peter Yan, an absolute legend of the sport. But the way in which he won, pressuring Aldo against the cage and landing near to no damage, this loses stock in a fighter. And when you're in the entertainment business, which is built purely off the back of clicks and pay-per-view buys, stock is everything. Now, the main event at UFC 287 is one of the most anticipated fights of the year, heading up an extremely exciting and entertaining card on paper. The overall quadrilogy, but the rematch in MMA could not be any higher stakes for these two men. However, the implications could be enormous, and particularly for Adesanya. If he loses to Pereira in any fashion, which is likely by TKO, but at all, this cements the fact that he was never good enough to beat Alex in any sport or fashion. Winning minutes is good, and the typical stick and move strategy of Adesanya is usually very effective, as we've seen throughout his career. But against a guy like Alex who has a bigger, longer frame, who holds his power through 25 minutes, you have to be perfect for that whole fight. Which, with a guy who is able to wear on you, drain your senses and defenses, this is near impossible. Stylistically, Alex is a horror matchup for Izzy. He's got that dirty boxing in close, which we've seen Izzy struggle to, mainly in that Gastelum fight, and he's also got an incredible knack to check kicks at any range, which is one of Izzy's main ways of working down his opponents. Another loss to Pereira would inevitably push Adesanya back down to contender in a career that was once on track to be one of the sport's GOATs. In a sport built on mentality, this would be near career ending to most people. However, a win could be just as disastrous for Adesanya. If Izzy puts the wrestling shoes on, works grappling seamlessly into a typical Adesanya stick and move game plan, and hugs the outside, avoids the power shots, and outpoints his way to edge out yet another boring decision championship victory in one of the most anticipated fights of the year, this will not go down well with the majority of casual fans. The reception to this result could almost be worse than a loss. You lose your casual appeal, people don't want to watch your fights, plus you likely irritate the head honchos by killing the appeal in a huge pay-per-view card. This all dwarfs, of course, in comparison to the exhilaration of finally trumping your biggest rival. If Israel can go out there and dominantly finish this fight, then that is a huge win for the former champ. That is a very real possibility given we have seen him hurt Alex badly twice but never finish him. However, Israel is in almost a lose-lose situation in this fight. It's going to be very interesting to see how this one pans out. There is a mountain of pressure on the back of the city kickboxing leader. Time will tell how he handles it. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Stay tuned to our YouTube as we're going to be pumping out content now. We're in for a really big year. As always, don't forget to chuck us a like if you enjoy the breakdown and subscribe to keep in the loop. make sure you head over to our Instagram at ascendant.mma. We post a lot over there. We also post our full betting card and analysis there on the day before the fights after the weigh-ins. We're plus 85 units for a rolling 12 months. So if you're viewing this, head over there. Make sure you follow our Instagram and get those for free. We also interact with the community, chat heaps in the DMs about fights. So as always, make sure to head over there and check it out. Thanks for watching this one, guys. We'll see you in the next one.